Welcome to the Mick and Pat Show. I'm Mick.
I'm Pat.
And thanks, Ken, for joining us again. We always appreciate it. I've received some very encouraging feedback from the last couple weeks of our content and episodes, and just happy to be here, Happy to be sharing our stories in life and all that. Even on a week where, we don't really know what we're going to talk about until it happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And Pat, you brought some delicious, interesting beers. I actually have had these before. I think my buddy grabbed them for my birthday, or like the day we were celebrating my birthday. And we tried them. And these are two of Trve Brewing, because we love Trve Brewing here. These are two of their like fancy bottled. What is this? You think? Oh, 500 milliliters beers, but they're ones that they like brewed in 2022 and sat in some kegs or fooders. Yeah, fooders. And I would say appreciated, fermented. But the first one here is See the Moon.
Oh, and I got both See the Moons. I didn't get the other one.
Oh, you got both See the Moons? All
right.
Well, I guess we don't even need glasses. We can just drink straight out of the bottle.
Yeah.
This one is, I'll say this is really good, and the other one's really good, but they're incredibly distinct from each other.
Because it's a mixed culture ale.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I've ever had one of those before.
I don't even know what that means, because so many, you could say a lot of beers technically mixed culture ale. You know what I mean?
Yep. It was, and I picked this one over the other one because I can't remember the ingredients. Like this one's got the jasmine flower and something hops. That's a weird font. But the other one, I forgot what it said on it, but I was like, I'm going with this one.
There is one of them literally made my tongue numb. Like, it's one of the most oddest experiences I've had with a beer. Like, and both of them have like 3 or 4 distinct tastes. Like, you're gonna have an immediate taste, and then a middle taste, and then you're gonna have like a swallow, and the first breath you take is gonna taste like something else. It's pretty interesting. But these are from Trve Brewing. I don't know if they've done this before. Like if like this is a specific thing they're doing all the time. Part of me does wonder if this is like a revelation. You know what I mean? Because isn't it like the great dragon in Revelations comes up and swallows the moon?
I think you might be right.
Yeah. So, and this is straight up a dragon flying, breathing. It's got some like satanic looking horns. And the beer is called See the Moon, so maybe it's like a reference to Revelation. But anyways, it's pretty good. And I'm stoked to see Pat go through it, because it was definitely like a very unique experience first time I had it. So go ahead.
The woman is in Revelation depicted wearing the sun and with the moon under her feet. But and I guess he's like has his mouth open at beneath the woman to catch the baby. So
interesting.
Yeah, that's the old revelation there.
Well, this dragon on here is holding hops and barley.
Yeah.
And jasmine.
Yep.
So I don't know if this is the one that's trying to eat Jesus. But anyways, Pat, I think you should crack it open.
All right.
Because I really want to see you experience.
See how
it's pretty crazy, man.
See the moon. Is this beer legal in all 50 states?
It definitely is gonna. It has a strange taste to it. At first, like, it definitely took me like 2 or 3 sips to really figure it out.
Let's see. It's still carbonated in there. That's good.
Oh, it smells good.
It does smell good. True, man. I'm always excited for the Trve.
Those smells like come out like just pure soda. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, it just is like a fermented soda beer.
Yeah, that's That's good. Going through
How many flavors are you getting?
it's changing because it was at one point it was like I was having a sour. I think that was in the middle. At the beginning, it was like I was drinking a light summer beer. Then it turned into a sour. And at the end, it got kind of thick, like that creamy bready taste, But
yeah. I honestly don't know how they could do it. Like how do you get those flavors distinctly one after the other versus like them just all being layered on top of each other?
I don't know. I like that. The cultured ale. I wonder if it's good for your gut health. Is this what we're doing? This is healthy.
Maybe
Healthy for the old belly.
Anyways, should we give it the swish test? We're not reviewing this beer, by the way.
Yeah.
We're not doing like a specific brews and reviews, but
Might as well.
all right.
Might as well
Swish
do it.
test. If you don't know what the swish test is, you take about a tablespoon amount into your tongue. I mean, not into your tongue, into your mouth. And you let it roll over your tongue. Go over the back, go over the sides, go under it. Kind of just moving your tongue around so it can get coated. Then you start swishing side to side. And then you put all the beer in front of your tongue and push it with your tongue through the front teeth. It really aerates it, really foams it up. And it brings out all the flavors. And Pat is looking like he is going through a lot of confusion right now. It looks like he is very confused by everything he's experiencing.
I'm trying to figure out what that taste is at the end. Kind of like a lemon drop. Yeah, I think it was like a... Yeah, it has like this. It's not super sour, but it has this as it finishes off. It's like.
Yeah,
is it a lemon drop? Is that what it is? I'm trying to figure out what that flavor is. It's like it was confusing me. It was very familiar.
Like the beginning is for sure sweeter, and the middle is like kind of floral ale what you expect, but that the end of it is like a weird, total kind of mind f.
Yeah, it kind of makes my tongue numb. That's what you were saying earlier,
exactly,
weren't you?
Yeah. You can numb your whole tongue.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is like got mint in it. I think it's mint in something. And that one is really numbing because of the mint on your tongue. But yeah, no, it's a good beer. Anyways, Pat, before we started, you were talking about this movie you've been hearing a lot about called Warfare.
Yeah.
And I think we should review it. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Because like the guy that came out with it, I heard a lot of his friends pushing it, like out there. Raymond Mendoza wrote, direct the film. It's based in the kind of Battle Ramadi, like 2007-ish, I believe, which would be like post the like American Sniper story. These guys were the ones that came in actually after like Chris Kyle's team and all that left. They came in right after. So lots of like the, that Testing Unit Bruiser group has gotten a lot of like recognition. They got lots of podcasts, whatever out there, Jocko's, people like that. And so I've heard like those guys say like, this movie's awesome. You got to go see it. Right. And then I was like, you help your friends out. You tell people to go see your friends' movies. But then there's been like other, people, like I think the biggest one I saw today that was like, oh, I need to see this. And then I was going to see it either way, but it's like, maybe we should do it for Brews and Reviews, is because it was a Critical Drinker just came out with the video, and he was like, yeah, this is it.
And he's critical of everything.
And he's kind of,
to be fair, he was critical of the last movie that what's his name did. Same, not Alex. Is it Alex Garland? I can't remember if it's Alex Garland or not. But this is the same guy who made Civil War, which I enjoyed Civil War. I don't remember if you enjoyed it or not. Did we do a Brews and review on it, or did we just briefly talk about it?
Is this one where it's just all about the reporters?
Yeah, it's following the reporters. It's not about the reporters.
Yeah. But if I had known that going in, I'd been happier. Versus like, I thought it was going to be
war all the time,
and then it was just like, oh, the journalists are the heroes of the day, and I'm like, thanks for Obama sponsored this film, bro. Like literally, he like
did he really?
I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones he was like, yeah, let's make this one. It's because like the press is good for you. It's
interesting,
like, or whatever. So, anyways, kind of like my little side harebrained.
Dude, I liked Civil War because there was like that whole point where they could have just made the gun tubers like the Boogaloo Boys. They could have just been like, yeah, let's just show them getting clapped. And then the Boogaloo Boys won, dude. The Boogaloo Boys won their little skirmish. And I was like, oof, that, I wonder how that went over with like advisors or whatever. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, so this is apparently by him as well. Is it Alex Garland? I think it's Alex Garland. Yep. So I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I've only heard good things from friends who are not huge movie people that went and saw it, and also from people who were very critical cinephiles and really enjoyed it. So I think it's probably going to be a home run, which is good. We kind of need it. We need another like non-cringy, non-propaganda, just good storytelling war movie. And I also watched the cast of the movie breaking down a scene in it, and I think that really also sold me on seeing it because the dudes that were in the cast seemed very, I don't know, they seemed almost like stressed still.
Oh yeah,
like they almost seemed traumatized from like doing this movie because I mean they did the workout, they did essentially the full Black Hawk Down routine of like training every day together and doing the SEAL training and getting into the mindset of communications and stuff. And they did a lot of their own stunts because they were like, no, we can do this now because we did the training. Like it is not like they were doing crazy stunts where they're like jumping down mountains or something, but like where they're just like, all right, we're gonna have a grenade come in the room, you're gonna roll off the table and kick it over so that way it covers you from shrapnel. And the movie, like Alex Garland, the director, is like, yeah, this is a nightmare because these guys all wanted to they never wanted to step off set because they wanted to stay in character. And I was afraid they were just going to smash their arms, rolling off of a table onto a stone floor or something.
And then the other co-director, co-writer, Ray Mendoza, he was the SEAL that the story's based on. Yeah, like he was there. So I think that helps. And
it's apparently, as far as I could tell, true story. But you know what? They got me with Operation Red Wing. They got me with Lone Survivor.
Oh yeah, like
so
back
who
in the
knows
day,
what
they
true
got
stories
you.
are?
Yeah.
No, did you not hear that Lone Survivor's almost entirely fabricated?
Yeah, lots of pieces of but what you're saying is back in the day when you first saw it, you're like, this is legit, and then now you're
Dude, I believed it was legit until like 6 months ago when Marcus Luttrell went on the podcast and just like was like, he kind of just wanted to tear it down. He's like, none of that's true. Like I pretty much just said what they were telling me to say based off of what happened on the operation because they wanted to make a film and a book and like use it as a media piece.
Right.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, what? And then like pretty much went off without like no real coverage. Like no one really flipped out about it. I was like, dude, for the last like 10, 15 years, people have been joining the military based off of that story. I don't know. Maybe sad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely one of those ones where there was a lot of extra well, I mean, basically they took like it happened, but then
it kind of didn't.
Right. What I mean is like like the people who died, and like the things happened, like the operators who died, the rescue that came in to get them, like all that happened, but then like all the like Hollywood details of it really didn't play out that way. And so it would have been a fairly tragic, boring movie of the version of, he escaped, his friends died, were they all together the whole time fighting it out or not, who we don't know. Yeah. Then, was in a village for a couple days till he got rescued.
And I think he was still there for it was actually 6 months.
Oh, in that time that he was there?
Yeah. And he had a long recovery.
And then, the helicopters came in to rescue it, to find him maybe, but then they did get shot down. They all, pretty much all died, and they did all die. But like that happened, but most of the fighting and everything, and that's, you know, pretty well stories. And have you watched the footage from the other fighters' point of view?
Smoke break. Hey, Ken, it's Mick, and I've got something important to talk about. We all hope we never find ourselves in a self-defense situation, but life's unpredictable. Enter the National Self-Protection Plan from Attorneys on Retainer, an actual credible law firm you can put on retainer for your self-defense needs. For just $35 a month, you get national coverage in all 50 states for criminal and civil legal representation in self-defense situations, complete with a 24/7, 365 toll-free emergency line. That's real legal support when you need it most. What's in the package? Bail bonds, scene cleanup, firearm replacement, even mental health counseling. Plus, 0 fees for a laundry list of defense-related costs like expert witnesses. So support the show and get yourself some peace of mind. Click the link in our show notes or visit our sponsors page to sign up for the National Self-Protection Plan from Attorneys on Retainer.
Hey folks, Pat here. If you're like Mick and I, you're a fan of classic tales like Lonesome Dove, Blood Meridian, The Three-Body Problem, and Steinbeck's East of Eden. With Audible, you can dive into these epic stories anytime, anywhere. Sign up for a free month, and your first audiobook is on the house. To start your free trial and support our show, click the link in the show notes or swing by the sponsors page on our website.
Want an awesome website for your podcast? Check out Podpage. We use it for the Mick and Pat show, and it's a game changer. Set it up in minutes, no coding needed. Support the show by using our link to get started. Your podcast deserves a home as great as ours. Podpage, the one-stop solution. I didn't know there was footage from the Taliban that were there during Operation Operation Red Wing?
Yeah. It's pretty rough. You just hear, like, you don't see any of the guys, but you can hear them, like, yelling to it. You can hear the guys yelling to each other. The SEALs.
Oh, really?
Like, yelling to each other, crying out for each other, and then, like, less voice. Like,
really?
You can just tell it's not going well over there. It's not like that opening scene where they just start roasting me. And then, like, because then there's pictures the Taliban had of their gear, of a tattoo that Dietz had, like that sort of, like, confirmed they had, like, all that stuff. But they put all that stuff. So there are some videos out there of, like, Red Wings, and it's like classic, like, full shaky cam Taliban, like, crappy footage. But
that's crazy.
But the most, like, disturbing part of that is listening to them, like, yell for each other. And they were pretty young. They were like boys. You know what I mean? Like, they were men, but, like, they weren't, you know, it's weird now that, like, you know, I mean, they were, as far as, they're pretty much in their early 20s, right? Like,
I think Marcus and Axe were like approaching 30, but Danny Dietz was real young.
Yeah,
I remember that. But anyways, all that said, Warfare sounds exciting. It's based on a true story. If we'll see if the story's true, but that's unfortunately what happens when you cry wolf. It always casts, like, a shadow of the doubt on stuff. So we'll see, you know. But all I said, I'm excited. I kind of want to go see it. Everyone's saying to go see it and go see it in movie theaters, not at home, because it's sound designed for cinema. And so I really want to do that. I imagine it's going to be a lot like Top Gun, right? Where it's, you know, incredibly explosive, echoing sound for, you know, 24 speakers.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good one. So, yeah, I think, I want to catch it in theaters before it's gone, and we talk about it on here. Because it's, I feel like it's those movies, it might be a movie that's like the types of movies I like that haven't been coming out for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever has been coming out, I'm not really sure what to call all of it. Like, genre-wise, you know?
Genres suck.
Yeah, you know, like, it's just like direct to streaming, I guess, like built, like, designed for direct to streaming stuff, you know.
So much of what I've heard that's come out is just like trash, dude. It's just like, it's forgettable, mindless, like garbage. And I feel bad saying that because I know a lot of people are putting, you know, effort into these things. But that's just what I'm hearing. I mean, I'm not even spending money to go see any of this stuff really anymore.
Right. And
it is just crazy to me, like, when I see these reviewers that, have their whole career based on movies, and like it's just one after another of them just being like, dude, it's just slop. Like they're literally making this movie, giving it a theater release, but the whole movie's designed to be just Saturday afternoon Netflix background stream. And like that makes me so sad, because it just makes you think like there's nothing original in it, and people are just sleepwalking through their performances.
I think that's where CGI has become the big crutch of like, part of it being like, what did I watch the other day? I think I watched Heat, and and just like being like watching like a cars crash together, or whatever, being like, that costs a lot of money. Like every time, versus like now, like so
watching Val Kilmer do the most perfect reload,
mag changing, yeah. And so like just watching all that stuff go, it like basically what I was thinking was, you don't need a lot of money to be creative, but when you have these like big budget films, like really big budget, and a lot's on the line for them, and they're not planning on it being a stinker, like you have more skin in the game, more like you have a bigger like, hey guys, we only get one shot at like this building coming, like this building's gonna come down. You got to like make it happen, say your line, look at the camera, like the level of like professionalism and like dedication versus like, we'll fix it in post. Like there was I saw a clip it was from a Marvel movie where they AI'd her voice. They AI'd her mouth. I think it was on Corridor Crew.
Yeah.
But like they didn't even need to cut back to her for the scene. They could have just had her speaking.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And it's like they AI'd her mouth talking, was like, what the heck? Like,
why even bother?
What was that? That was like that. So that kind of like mentality is just like, well, that's why you're also going to get smaller budgets. Studios will be less risky. There's less at stake, And so then it's like, then the creativity, like demand for it goes out the window. I think like in some ways.
Have you heard about the Electric State?
Mm-mm.
It was a movie that just came out on Netflix that the Russo brothers that did all the Avengers movies.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to make essentially the next big...
Oh, the Chris Pratt one.
Yeah, franchise. Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, and it just stunk. Like, I didn't watch it, but it made no money.
Rotten Tomatoes score
cost $320 million.
That's So like to that point, like that's where there are these huge ones where they are just throwing tons of money at it,
and they're like, dude, like I gotta imagine $100 million of that was funding the Funko Pops line and all the other like merchandise that was supposed to make this like something that everyone wanted to be a part of.
Yeah. The Rotten Tomatoes score on it was 15%.
Even on like audience and critics, or what?
Let's see, I haven't clicked on it yet, but I mean,
that's brutal, dude. It's hard to get like actually under 50%. Like it's pretty hard to get that bad.
Yeah, it's bad, man. And and so I do think, I think it's you have to have a healthy pairing of it. It's not just because you like are throwing hundreds of millions at it, and it's also not just because you have like the heart behind it. Because you have the Napoleon Dynamites, the $30,000 budget, and wow, that really worked.
Yeah,
but then also I'm thinking to like the kind of the Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, like these cost a ton of money, but the directors themselves, even at that level of money they're getting, they're still having to like beg, borrow, and steal, scrounge for it, like really work for it, go on set for like, freeze their nuts off, like freeze camera crews, stop, delay stuff.
What's crazy when you like look at Lord of the Rings and like what the Lord of the Rings would cost today to do all 3 movies, and how much they made back versus what Electric State costs. You know what I mean? Or like some of these other ones that are just like, and people are like, oh well, it's cheaper to do CGI armies, and it's like, well, dude, yeah, the original Lord of the Rings did have CGI armies,
right?
But it was CGI because it was the stand-in painted like actor army duplicated over and over,
right?
To like size wise,
it wasn't a fake.
It wasn't just slop.
It wasn't 2 fake guys that they then created a 10,000 things. You know,
Yeah.
and it was 94 million was the budget for Return of the King. You know,
That's crazy that Return of the King was 94 million and it looks that good.
So even like with inflation or change or whatever, it still would not be even near this. You know, maybe you know what? Hollywood needs a little Doge action probably on some of those numbers too, like what's going on. But so I feel like with this movie, the Warfare one, I'm hoping it's more of that. You know, hey, however much they had to spend on it, I was like, hey, we really got to get this right. We want to really do it, you know, and we'll see.
Yeah, I think Warfare is pretty legit too, because I don't think it's trying to be any more than just like this instance, what happened here on this one day. Which is also why like so many of us love Black Hawk Down, because like Black Hawk Down is literally like, you know, a 24-hour period. But like Warfare is 90 minutes. Like the movie's 90 minutes long. And so it's like it's all just like happening now in the moment, supposed to feel like an absolute heinous roller coaster ride that you can't get off of, and then it's over because the day's over. The event is done. We don't go back to follow these guys home and see what their marriage life's like, or it's just like no, like it was just about this one day, which I think is honestly what the military movie should be. Like I don't know. We don't need to see military movies be biopics. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, I think that's like the part of like the American Sniper movie that's of course the weakest in my opinion. Is when they treat it like it's a movie star or not a movie star, but like a musician biopic, where they're like, and here's him not on tour anymore, and he's at home, and it's like they're juggling the balance of life in this career and this like, you know, marriage and kids and stuff and family, and I'm just like, I don't care. If I'm being honest, I don't care at all. Like, you know what I mean?
Just move a bit. So all three Lord of the Rings trilogy was under 300 million to make. Each one was about 90 million.
And I bet each one made somewhere in the neighborhood of like $500 million to $1 billion.
The trilogy made 3 billion worldwide.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. Sick.
So yeah, that's some ROI there.
No kidding, dude.
You know?
That's why none of those guys do anything anymore.
Yeah, no
it's like why Viggo Mortensen's like, I'll just take supporting roles in like indie movies for the rest of my life because I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, and so what this Electric State one? I mean, you said the budget was what, over 325.
Well,
something?
They're saying they've officially revealed that it was at least 320, but there's a lot of people who worked on it apparently who have been doing some accounting.
Yeah,
they're like, no, it's like 390. It's like, holy good Lord, like...
So 3 times more expensive than the Lord of the Rings.
Oh my gosh, dude. That is a lot of hookers and blow for Hollywood, you know what I mean?
And definitely not even going to make that back.
No, not remotely. But and they don't even see it as a loss, though, because they believe, like, you know, because of the subscription model, it's like movies can fail. And, like, we have money coming in, you know? So, anyways, it's all pretty crazy to me, but... have you seen the trailer for the new movie in the 28 Days series?
No.
Do you know what 28 Days Later is?
Yeah, is that the spider one? No.
That's Eight-Legged Freaks.
Eight-Legged Freaks.
Which Eight-Legged Freaks is also a really not good movie. Yeah. Like it's like not inappropriate, it's just not very good.
No, yes.
But there is one scene in Eight-Legged Freaks where there's dudes on dirt bikes trying to outrun giant spiders, and it's awesome. It's like worth watching that movie and like the other 80 minutes of garbage for the 5 minutes of that one scene.
Yep. Yeah. No, I do know 20 Days Later. It's like they came out the same year. That's why it's in my brain that way.
Yeah.
But yes.
I got 2 trailers I'm going to show you.
All right.
They're very similar, but one is like this classic one that came out that is like to the track called Boots. And Boots, let me look it up. A lot of people have been using it on like Instagram Reels and stuff like that because it got very popular. from this trailer, but it's like essentially this track or song. I don't even know how to. I don't know how to like even really describe it. I guess it's, but it's like a war poem song from like way back in the day.
The poem Boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
1915 recording of Rudyard Kipling's Boots.
It's a World War I marching poem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, they use this track for it, right?
Oh, really?
Because it's kind of just like how the zombies are just the Boots, right? It's just marching forever, marching on, marching forever.
So is this a sequel or a remake?
So this is 28 years later, which this is why I'm excited, right? Because the original 28 Days Later was directed by Alex Garland. That's like what got Alex Garland his career, his beginning, if I remember correctly. I'm checking. No, sorry, Danny Boyle. Alex Garland got started with a different one, but then Danny Boyle did 28 Weeks Later, kind of. I don't know if he was still director. Was he still? No, he wasn't, but he was a producer for it, which he was a lot weaker. And then now there's 28 years later, which to me looks awesome because Danny Boyle's back to direct it, and he's just done good with a lot of other stuff. Like, did you ever see Trainspotting or Slumdog Millionaire?
Yes, Slumdog.
So he's had producer and director roles in a lot of those things, and I just think he's honestly, I don't know, like he just strikes me as like one of the best directors kind of in Hollywood. Like everything he touches feels pretty original. Doesn't feel to me like he does like a whole lot of copying, and like even his sequel. So he did Trainspotting T2, which was like a pretty interesting like sequel to the original Trainspotting. The original Trainspotting just follows like Irish druggies and like just getting in over their head. Ewan McGregor plays probably the best heroin addict I've ever seen on TV.
Oh yeah.
And like he crushes it, and it's like the most classic like hectic like British crime, stress movie. But he also did this movie Sunshine, which Sunshine was like a really great horror movie with Cillian Murphy as well. 127 Hours. That one was a pretty good movie. He did the Steve Jobs movie as well. Anyways, but so he's doing 28 years later, and as you would expect, it's taking place 28 years after the initial outbreak, right? That's kind of the whole premise of these movies, is that this is what's occurring, after this virus gets out. And it was really interesting. Did you ever see the original one?
I never saw it. No.
So the virus escapes from animal rights activists going into a lab and trying to free the monkeys.
Oh yeah.
And the monkeys are already infected with the virus, and they bite one of the people. And so they run and leave. Like, no one dies in the lab. But they're like, oh, shit, we got to get out of here. Well, they get out, and they've been bitten by the monkeys with the rage virus. And, of course, Cillian Murphy wakes up. He's the OG, wakes up in a hospital. It was before The Walking Dead, right? So he wakes up in a hospital, looks around, and it's gone, right? And so, anyways, 28 years later is taking place after that, and it's got one of my favorite actors, especially one of my favorite British actors nowadays. Alex Garland is involved in this.
He's a writer.
Yeah, he's a writer. Yeah, that's so sick. But Aaron Taylor Johnson, I love Aaron Taylor Johnson. He was originally Kick-Ass, and I think he's just crushed everything he's in. Like, I've never seen him in a role where I thought he sucked. Like, he was in I'm trying to even think of like a lighter movie he was in where he's still, I think he was in one of the newest Kingsman movies, one of the newer ones. I thought he was good in that, but he was also in the Tenet, and his character was just like essentially Captain Price from Call of Duty. Like he just had chops and a beret on.
Yeah.
And I was like, badass, dude. And he just like, he didn't have much to work with there, but he killed it, dude. He did a good job.
He was in Nosferatu also.
He was in Nosferatu as well, yeah. I thought he was great in Nosferatu. I enjoyed his character. Anyways, but Aaron Taylor Johnson, really enjoyed him. But these two trailers make me stoked because this still, even though this is the third film in a series, it feels very, very original to me.
Well, this is the third.
Yeah, so there's 28 days later. First one.
Yeah.
Second one's 28 weeks later.
Oh.
Which was also still very original. It just wasn't
Enough time had gone by or something.
No, it just wasn't delivered by the cast well enough. Jeremy Renner's in it, and he does a pretty good job, but like even then you could tell it's like an early career thing for Jeremy Renner too. And it's just not as delivered acting wise as like the first one was.
Yeah.
But it was still a really good, like, unique take. Like 28 weeks later was like, okay, people are now coming back to England because like we've created a quarantine zone and we can have like normal society again. And of course people mess it up.
Yeah.
And they get infected in the quarantine zone. And it was pretty cool because it just shows like a government who's like, all right, scrap it, kill them all again. And like they just start killing everybody in the quarantine zone. But all right, here. So I'm gonna turn it so you can watch too. But this is 28. This is the first trailer that came out like 4 months ago that got me super stoked for it.
Wait, sit here. Auntie, what's going on? Jimmy, sit still, keep quiet, and do not move from this spot.
Seven, 6, 11, 5, 9 and 20 miles today, 4, 11, 17, 32 the day before. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Don't look at what's in front of you. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. Men go mad with watching them. There's no discharge in the war. If your eyes drop, they will get the top of you. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Try to think of something different. Oh, my God, keep me from going lunatic. Boom, moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. 7, 6, 11, 5, 4, 17, 32 the day before.
Now, I have watched that trailer probably like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
And thought, okay, can I figure out what is going on? Because it's pretty intense. Oh yeah, Ralph Fiennes is in it too.
And I just watched
anything with Ralph Fiennes gets me going, dude.
I was just
I think he's excellent.
I was doing a late night random Amazon Prime watch. I started watching this movie with him and Gerard Butler, Coriolanus, and my Shakespeare's not up to snuff apparently because I didn't know what I was getting into, and the first
what was it called?
Coriolanus. It's a book by Shakespeare. I didn't know that. I thought I was going to be watching like a modern war movie, but they had redone. They had taken the Shakespeare book and then put it to modern times. So it was like modern people, kind of like the Romeo and Juliet with
Yeah. West Side
Leo.
Story.
Yeah, like with Leonardo DiCaprio, they did just a modern version where like instead of swords they had guns and everything. But anyways, the first like 20 minutes, it was like I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I finally figured out, oh, I'm just dumb and didn't realize it. This was actually pretty cool, pretty good movie.
Nice.
But yeah, he was Ralph Fiennes. He's like top notch, kind of like as far as like drama. Serious.
I've never seen anything with him in it that I thought he half-assed or phoned in. You know what I mean? Like even stuff that I feel is like could have been like a snoozer for him. He always just gives it everything.
He was looking intense in that trailer.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be part of like the. So from what I understand, like just watching, right? I haven't. There's no like release of like here's what's going on. We'll tell you guys. I think it's going to follow two stories. One is a group of troops who are going into the infected zone. I don't know where they're coming from because 28 weeks later literally ends with us finding out like almost all of Europe is fallen, at least. And so it's pretty bleak at the end. And so it's just like you at the end of the movie of 28 weeks later literally makes it seem like, okay, the whole world's gone. Like there is actually no governments anymore anywhere. But this trailer clearly shows a SWAT team or tactical team of some kind, right? Going in, hostage rescue team, basically, right? And they're getting picked off one by one, I think. And then there's also the people who have had to live in the in the zone. Yeah,
because there's the haves and there's dudes with like bows and like rags, and the other people got all teched out.
Yeah. And that's Aaron Taylor Johnson. And I think the other ones are going to be the people who have essentially like learned somehow to live alongside the infected. And I think they are like cannibals, like they eat people too, which is like why we see those like towers of skulls, and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Ralph Fiennes is going to be like this cannibalistic tribe leader who like, and I think what they'll probably do, here's why I think it'll be scary. They literally like use the infected as like hunting dogs to lure them to their next, meal. And so I'm pretty excited to see. But also like just the way they incorporated that track with the beats and like scene to scene. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm stoked. It is part of a series, but it also looks very original to me.
Yeah, it could be good. And I like the scary movies. I like the ones that at least look like they have a halfway decent storyline. It's like it could be good. Could be good.
Yeah. All right, cool. Oh, you know what else? I did see a movie recently called Companion. I'm just tossing this out there. Anyone who wants to see like a pretty good movie that's like 90 minutes or whatever with like a good date night movie, Companion was great. It was a little violent for people who are like sensitive to violence and stuff, but there's, it really telegraphs, so you can definitely close your eyes and look away. But it was it was just really good. It was a very classic kind of everything's not what it looks like on the surface love story. And I would say if you don't know anything about it, don't watch anything. Don't watch a trailer.
It's too late. I figure.
You already spoiled it for yourself?
I think I agree. Don't go looking. Just go watch it.
Yeah, because it was great. I took Billie Jean to it, and she didn't see a trailer or anything, and she had no idea. And the reveal in the movie was like pretty big for her. She was like, "Whoa, what? What?" So it's one of those movies where the trailer definitely spoils too much, but just watch it. It's streaming now. Like it's for free streaming on stuff, and we paid matinee prices for it, and it was entertaining enough that I would have paid full price to go see it.
Okay.
When we went for Valentine's Day. But anyways, all that said, Well, I don't really have anything else to say. We're beating around the bush here. We've really been building up to it.
You told us you let it. Speaking of the big reveal, you told us a little bit about it last week.
A couple weeks ago, maybe. I don't know.
I think it was last week.
I think I alluded to it during the med kit review process.
Yeah. We talked about it there, but now we have. Sounds like we have updates.
Yeah, dude. I guess we should just talk about men's health for a moment, right? Let's just be
men's health segment.
Yeah, a little bit of men's health moment here. I went and I made a doctor's appointment, right? To
just for like a checkup.
Well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, right? Because I mean, here's the bottom line. Ken, family,
bottom.
our listeners out there that are family have been listening for a while, right? You guys know that I've been joking around about a hemorrhoid. Been joking about how my hemorrhoids are causing me, not pain isn't the right word, but just a nuisance. And I don't know. It's my first time dealing with a hemorrhoid, right? And like a hemorrhoid that's not just like a whittle bump, like a hemorrhoid that's like, okay, I gotta figure out how to build my life around this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you look up stuff and everyone, like, there's a different suggestion on everything, what to do and who to make an appointment with.
Mm-hmm.
And I went onto my insurance's website and trying to figure out, like, okay, what kind of doctor do I need to find in network to deal with this? I couldn't find nothing. So I was like, hey, you know what? Who will know? A doctor.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll go to a doctor for just like a general checkup, and the doctor can just, I'll unfortunately reveal to the doc, I'm going to have to go in and be like, they're like, all right, you're here for a standard physical, yearly physical? And I'll be like, no, not really. I just didn't know where else to go. I need you to give me a referral to get my hemorrhoid looked at, right?
Whoa, don't look these up unless you're ready for it.
Well, okay.
Because I'm just saying also because
if you look them up, you're going to see the worst kind of, like, you're going to see the worst thing, like, possible about them, right? Like, dude, my hemorrhoid's a nice little hemorrhoid, okay? Yeah. It's a nice little gentle hemorrhoid. I want you to, Pat, do me a favor.
Oh, my gosh.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Turn your hand towards you and look at your thumb. And just look at your thumb so you can't see any nail. You're just seeing that top joint.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just imagine that attached to the rim of your anus.
Yeah.
It's not purple. It's not throbbing. It's not bleeding. It's not rashy. It's just like a big ass, like
like a butt thumb,
a big old lump that looks like a thumb. That's exactly, like, dude, when I look at it in the mirror, and for people wondering how you do this, I'll tell you. You get a mirror, like a small handheld mirror.
Oh yeah.
You set it down on the shower floor or the tub floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then you squat over it and look down between your legs, lifting up your junk.
Mm-hmm.
And that squat really spreads your cheeks so that way you can get a good view of what's going on down there.
Because, hey, sometimes you got to do an inspection. Sometimes you got to know what's going on.
Men's health. You got to do an inspection. You are your first line of defense against, any kind of, like, testicular or rectal cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to do checkups. But anyways, that's what it is, guys. I don't want anyone here thinking I got, like, anal fissures or something like that, right? Like, that's certainly not what this is. But it is a thumb. It is a thumb coming out of my ass.
Oh, my God.
Okay, and, like, everyone's like, yada, yada, you're exaggerating for comedy. All right, so this brings me to the doctor's appointment. So I got a doctor's appointment with the not a PA. Well, maybe no. I think he was a PA.
Yeah, PA. It was a he.
I specifically was like, I want to find a male doctor that I can go to, an older male doctor who can, like, who's probably had his own hemorrhoids. You know what I mean? Who can, like, kind of walk me through this. But I made an appointment, and then sure enough, I get a call from the doctor's office, and they're like, we have an earlier opening if you'd like, with, like, Dr. female name here. And I'm just like, nah, I'd really like a male doctor, honestly, and they're like, oh, okay. Well, how about this one? This is our, PA, and he can do the physical and the general checkup and all that. And I was like, yeah, all right, that's fine, whatever. So I get in there, and you got to fill out the information, right? When you're a new patient, you're filling out all the documentation and all that. And I can never remember anything, right? Like, there's that thing that comes up where it's like, what kind of conditions do you have? And I'm like, well, I am legally blind without my glasses. But like, I don't know if like they need I don't think they care about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they ask like, you know, do you have? It's always awkward when they're like, "What's your family history on your father's side?" And I just gotta be like, "Yeah," like, and anyways, but I'm filling all that out, and then of course, you go into the back with like the nurse who walks you back there.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "So what do you want? Like, what do you want? You're just here for like a physical checkup and all that today?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Anything else that we need to know?" And it's one of those things where like you either tell them or you tell the doctor, but it's going in your medical record for everyone to see.
Yep.
I was like, all right, just get like, don't have any ego about it. It's a chill, funny thing. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay to laugh about it. In fact, I'm going to make it my goal to make everyone I interact with here at this office laugh about it, because then it makes me feel less clinical and less awkward. And so I was like, honestly, I don't think I need a physical. I just need him to take a look at my hemorrhoid and give me a referral. And she was an older nurse, and I could see she like was a little caught off guard. There was like an emotional twitch there, but like she steeled it away. And I'm like, and then like, honestly, I just don't know what to do and I looked her in the eyes. I'm like, it's a thumb coming out of my ass, and like I just was swearing and everything, because I'm like, if I break them, I'll feel a lot better. And she just immediately started chuckling and laughing, and like just like, you know, she did the classic like, you know, older woman, not old, but like older woman, like squint eyes and like try to fight it, and it feels like the like loud cackle laugh, you know. And then she's like, okay, all right. She's like, you know, you can make an appointment with like a gastrointestinal like doctor or something. I'm like, I don't know. No, I don't know that. Like, when I looked up like hemorrhoid doctor, there wasn't one on my insurance portal. And so she's like, okay, all right, well, he'll take a look at it, and it's probably not as big as it is. Like, there's a lot of things outside of surgery that you can do. And I was like, I've kind of been already doing stuff. I already had like a teledoc appointment, you know. And for everyone wondering, no, I didn't like put my phone down and just like spread my cheeks over the phone camera and be like, what do you think, Doc? What do you think? Is this good for you? You need me to turn the flashlight on?
You open up the console just with that.
No, dude. It was so funny. I specifically was like, I'm not making this doc get on a like camera. Like, I'm just going to request only a phone call, because I don't want him to be like on camera afraid. I'm just going to be like, all right, well, here it is, Doc. What's your thoughts? But anyways, so I told her, I was like, yeah, I already had a teledoc appointment. They gave me some like hydrocortisone, like more intense hydrocortisone than you can just get over the counter. You have to have a prescription. Like, I've been using that, and it's not been improving. And I've been like taking some like supplements that are supposed to like open up and increase the dilation of your veins in your legs, so that way it's a lot easier. Because hemorrhoids, essentially, if people don't know what a hemorrhoid is, it's pretty much like a kink in the vascular,
it's like a swollen vein
network around your anus, which is the same thing that happens if you get punched in the lip in your face, because your lips, a lot of people don't know, your lips are the same tissue. Like your
who knew?
That's the reason your anus looks like your lips. Anyways, but it's the same tissue. So like, if you get punched in the lip and your lip swells up and gets purple, that's the same thing that's happening with a hemorrhoid. Now, I wasn't punched in the ass. But
because there's one cause. There's a specific activity that causes this.
Yeah, what is this? What is this, Pat? You wanna make this joke?
It's the gay sex.
That's I'm not having any of that. I will, but I'll get to that. I'll get to the cause, right? I'll get to the cause, because it's honestly probably likely going to be a lot more of our listeners than most of them think. But anyways, so she's like, all right, well, you know, the doc will be in a minute. So he comes in. He clearly didn't get the memo. He comes in and he's like, so just here for a general checkup? I'm like, no, doc. Yes. I just turned, 30 and all that. So please, let's do the general physical checkup, whatever I got to do, whatever labs. But I'm primarily here because I have a giant hemorrhoid. I don't know what to do with it, and I need a referral. And again, I could tell he was trying to be chill about it. And he was only maybe a year or two older than me. Like, he's pretty young too, so he's probably never had a hemorrhoid. But I saw that he was married. He got a wedding ring on, and he seemed like pretty, I would say, like a classic Colorado Front Range guy. You know, like he looked like he rock climbed. You know what I mean? He looked like he actually just got done rock climbing and put on the quarter zip to come to be a doctor.
This is Dr. J.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it Dr. J?
I don't know who that is.
That's the last name of the guy I see.
I don't think this guy had it.
All right.
I don't think this guy's technically a doctor yet.
All right.
He's a PA.
Okay.
But he was like, all right, well, okay, we can probably take a, go over some stuff with that today, and I'll tell you some like ways you could treat it and stuff. He's like, you get some preparation H and stuff. I'm like, Doc, you're not listening.
Yeah.
You're not hearing me out here. I'm already doing over the 3 times application a day of this hydrocortisone. The size is not changing. And I looked him in the eyes. I was like, it's the size of my thumb. It is my thumb coming out of my ass. I kid you not.
God.
And he, at that point, he laughed. I was like, Doc, and you need to know, it's okay to laugh. And I'd actually feel more comfortable the more you laugh. If you're too clinical, I'm going to feel weird about this. And he had some really pretty good chuckles and stuff. And he was like, well, man, these things, they really don't need surgery that much. You kind of want to avoid it because the surgery hurts. And you got to go to sleep, and you're almost never going to be in an ER, right? Or urgent care. You're going to go into a doctor's clinic office. They're going to give you a shot. And then they're going to prop you up in a table. And he's pulled his knees up. And he's like, you're going to be in this chair like this, knees lifted up, spread wide. And
it's like the ultimate Brazilian.
Yeah. And he's like, you're going to be essentially if you're giving birth, this is the giving birth pose. And I was like, I get it, Doc. I do. But I think that's the only way. I think that's the only solution. And he was like, all right, okay, let's take a look here. I was like, if there's a pill, if there's anything orally I could take that will help with this, I'm fine, anti-inflammatory, whatever. And he's like, you're really doing this hydrocortisone prescription? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, this is pretty high percentage. This is a lot per day. All right. He's like, well, I could take a look at it. I was like, if you want to.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I don't really want to. I was like, well, I'm telling you what it is, man. I'm not exaggerating here. I feel it every day when I have to put the cream on.
It's your little buddy.
Yeah. It literally is too. It's just hanging out there, right? And so I stand up, I tell him, I'm like, hey, Doc, just so you know too, I do have my holster on stuff still, but I left my gun and mags out in the car because I knew I was probably gonna have to strip at some point or take shirts off, right?
Yeah.
And I could see there was a pause on his face when he was processing holster and stuff. I was like, all right, we're about to find out if he's a friggin' dork or not. And he was like, okay, yeah, no, cool, no worries. I take my holster off and stuff, drop trowel, and bro, I turn around and kind of just lean over the bed, right? Just enough, and he doesn't even have to spread my cheeks. He's just like, oh my God.
No.
He's like, it's the size of a grape. And I'm like, dude, I look turned over my shoulder, and I look at him, I'm like, I told you. I wasn't lying. And he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna give you the referral. I'm just gonna refer you to the surgeon now. Because he was trying to avoid doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you. He's like, yeah, you can't do anything about that. Let's continue to take care of it and take your anti-inflammatories. But that is the big concern of that is if essentially you get a blood clot in it, right? If it's around for too long, it's just too much effort for the blood and the plaque or whatever builds up. You get a blood clot, which then is when it gets all purple and not good. Yeah. And then you risk it rupturing. And people bleed out to death from hemorrhoids.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's actually common. Look up how many. Let's see how many people die from hemorrhoids a year in the U.S.
Oh my God!
Because they'll be taking a dookie, right? And they wipe too hard or they strain too hard and it bursts. And because it doesn't hurt when it bursts, they just bleed out to death on the toilet.
Deaths wise, looks like there's not a ton of people dying, but you do. People there's not enough people that they have a number. But people do die from it, which you would not expect.
Yeah,
to be I had this thing and then I died, right?
Yeah. So anyways, I got the referral, but they haven't called me yet to schedule an appointment, so I think I'm just going to call that office. He printed it out for me and gave it to me. He's like, hey man, get it treated. But he asked about the podcast.
Oh, really?
And I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm really comfortable about talking about this with you because like one is like, patient-doctor confidentiality, but also, like I talk about it jokingly. So like, I'm not, actually concerned here. And he was like, yeah, no, cool. What's the podcast? And referred him to it. And he's like, all right, I'll check it out. So hopefully Doc's listening to this and enjoying it.
That's hilarious.
But he also like, it was funny because when he was doing like the assessment on me to just see if I'm in good physical health before I dropped trial, he was asking me questions about like, gun questions and like he's got guns and his parents actually own a gun shop in California.
Oh, wow.
And they're actually trying to sell it because of how hard the gun laws are out there and trying to close them down. And so he was actually super pro-gun and very chill and comfortable and asked me like what I usually carry and stuff and all that. So, but yeah, he was a great doctor. I'm excited to go see him. He's now my general practitioner. Yep. But it was pretty funny. I've never had a doctor like lose their
bedside manner.
You lose their demeanor when they see like my actual ailment, and they hear him be like, "Oh my god!" Like, just like immediately flabbergasted. That was awesome, dude. It was funny too because like the rest of the day I was just laughing about it, and my wife Billie Jean would be like, "What are you smiling about? What are you laughing about?" I'd be like, "I'm still just laughing about that doctor's appointment. It was so funny."
It's like a thumb from Spy Kids.
It actually is, yeah.
Floops Fooglies.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna take a picture of it.
Oh,
like
no.
when they do the surgery, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'll be asleep. Can someone take a picture of it so that way I could see what it's like in like all of its glory? Like put a dime next to it or something so that way people have a sense of scale.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna make you look at it. I'm gonna make you look at it for sure.
Oh man.
Anyways, all right. Funny jokes. I get it. If this was too graphic for you, if you watched the trailer for 28 years later and you were like, oh, that looks good, and then we went into this story and it's too graphic for you, sorry, apologies, I guess.
Yeah.
But Pat, what about you? You had a checkup, some men's health checkup stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty basic. We go in there. Similarly, I wanted a dude, but then they were like, all right, you can come see Dr. Jenny. I'm like, dang. If I get in there, Dr. Jenny's a dude. Hey, last name. There you go. So anyways, it's like, but the,
nice.
It is funny. They're asking you like, so like, have you had, have you had a like primary care doctor? And I'm like, not since I was a kid.
Yeah.
They're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? Like,
That's what I told my doctor too. He's like, when was your last time you had like your, like just standard checkup primary care physician? I was like, when the sheriff department made me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. Cause it's never going in there. And then, it's always, the funny thing about the doctor stuff is I don't want to have something wrong with me. I just want them to like maybe do more to find something. It's like, all right, like check your heartbeat, check your pulse, ask you the questions, and then ask you your, it's always like, about your tobacco, alcohol, diet, family history.
Did you notice they changed the alcohol question?
Mm-mm.
So the last time I did it, it was like, how many drinks a week do you have?
Oh, yeah.
And it said, based on how many drinks a week you have, is it whether or not you're an alcoholic? And so I was like, okay. And mine was like, you're an alcoholic. It was like, if you're having 7 drinks or more a week, you're an alcoholic. I was like, that's crazy. Because I most of the time I'm not even having one a day. I just have like maybe 4 on Friday.
Right.
And now the question is, how many days in the last year did you have 4 or more drinks? And I was like, okay. It's like 52 Fridays in a year, divide that by 2, so 26.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's my best like guesstimate. But that's the new question.
That's probably a better way to frame it for them,
Because I don't know anyone who doesn't have roughly 7 beers a week.
Right.
I'm like legit trying to think through it. And I'm like, I don't really think any of my friends are alcoholics, but most of them, unless they're actually sober, most of them are having 7 beers a week because they're having like 2 or 3 on Friday, Saturday, and then maybe there's one elsewhere within the week.
Like 1 or 2 during the week,
Yeah.
right? Yep. No, I'd agree with that. Like I guess like, the doctors ask you all those questions and then you're like, they look in your eyes, look in your nose, look in your ears, and you're like, do you have any concerns for your health? Like you're feeling? I'm like, no, I feel good. They're like, all right. You're like, well, what else are you gonna do? Like, it always feels like there should be.
Like,
like
you want me to touch your balls?
Yeah, I know.
You want me to touch your balls?
Yeah, no.
I'll do it. It's not going to tell me anything, but I'll do it if it makes you feel better.
For real. But the just like it feels like we should be closer to the point where like that pin from Star Trek where they just like wand it over you. It's like then it can check what it's like find all the stuff or whatever. And they'll do occasionally like whatever order blood labs things like that. But yeah, I did figure to probably time I was like go do a yearly checkup. Just go in, tell the doctor what's going on, and I guess it's time for that type of thing, But
What was the bill of health he gave you?
said I was good to go.
Say you're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was uneventful. But funny thing too is he was like, "So when's the last time you had a doctor?" I was like, "Well, I feel like I go to a doctor like constantly because
I have kids.
And my wife definitely takes them way more than I do.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like I'm in and out of doctor's office all the time. It's just not for me, or whatever. So, but because little kids, gosh, you're always at the doctor. Feels like, especially looking back as a kid too. It's like dentist, doctor, just all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't remember going to the doctors all the time, but it was easily like every year,
right?
If not twice a year.
Yeah, compared to like my 3 visits over the last decade.
Yeah, I think it's because kids are just like, honestly, when I'm like trying to retrospect, like think about my existence or my like growing up. Like I know I wasn't a troublemaker and I wasn't that much of a daredevil. I definitely goofed around and got hurt a couple times. But I think kids just like don't have the like life experience, especially when they get into the teenage years, to comprehend like the discipline of like routine self-care. And for me, the biggest thing that I kept on going to the doctors in for high school was like just ingrown toenails, because it was like I never. Like when you're a kid, you're like, your shoes get too small because you're growing so much, especially as a dude in high school. Your feet are growing faster than any other part of your body. It feels like some days. Yeah, unfortunately. But it's one of those things where like you just get, your shoes get tight and you're like, whatever, I'll deal. And then you start having pain in your toes, and it's because your shoes are so tight that you got ingrown toenails, and you gotta go and get them like snipped off. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever had them?
I've never had to, but I've got buddies have it. Seems like ancient Japanese torture.
Yeah, honestly, the white hot searing pain of like the nerve squeezing on your toenails growing into the skin, it hurt more than my femur breaking, without a doubt. Like, there was times where I thought about, like, I was like, if I had a gun, I'd kill myself. Just because, like, the pain is unreal, dude.
Oh,
and it's one of those things where, like, as soon as you stub it or stomp on it, there's, like, a singeing. But it's, like, traveling up your spine. Like, it's going to hit your brain at any minute now. And it's, like, watery eyes. It's like the feeling of, like, when someone hits you in the nose. And you have that watery eyes knee-jerk reaction. But then it's, like, also, like, now imagine there's just, like, a hot knife going through your foot. Oh, dude, it was unreal. And since then, I had so many of them that like I do very regular
like take care
maintenance
of your feet.
and care on my nails and feet, and I always am buying more shoes, 2-3 sizes up if I need. Not because I think my feet are going to grow anymore, but because I know like with socks and wool socks especially, that roominess is a great way to avoid that. And once you get them once, they just kind of happen over and over again.
Yeah.
So anyways, sorry, that's a side tangent, but that was always what I was as a kid in the doctors for.
Oh yeah. And kids, there's like there's just kids get colds. You're going to yearly checkups. You got and then just your ER visits, for stuff. But it's probably about time to just do some routinely go to the doctor, get some blood work done, see where you're at, and make sure. What will be interesting, over the next 10 years is where you'll start hearing about whatever, some friend from high school on Facebook, oh no shit, they've got cancer or whatever,
cancer.
Yeah, like that, yeah. Sort of wait, we weren't old. Oh no, all of a sudden
It's crazy.
Those things will start kind of popping up in there.
Yeah,
so.
Hitting 30 has been a real weird thing for me, man.
Oh yeah,
hitting 30 has made me feel I don't know. I mean, everyone goes through it, right? Everyone who's alive, I guess. But I just do think it's strange to think that the next decade is 40.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel in my 30s at all, dude.
Because 20 to 30 goes pretty fast.
So fast, and I don't have any kids yet, and I'm not feeling stressed or anything about I need to have a kid right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm oh wow, I'm gonna be the old dad.
If you
I'm gonna be the old dad already.
If you start playing out the math on it, yeah.
But who knows? Modern medicine. Maybe I'll live longer. Yeah. I'll still be a young dad. I don't. It's just one of those things that I'm just kind of scratching my head about. I'm that came so quick.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, glad to hear your checkup was good.
Oh yeah,
good and fine. You didn't have him check your butt?
No, not this time.
Oh, the cause of the cause of the hemorrhoids.
Yeah, you got to educate us so we can avoid this.
He was asking me, he was well, what's going on? Do you do a lot of squatting for your job or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm nah. I sit in a chair at my desk
mm-hmm.
and work on the computer at home,
mm-hmm.
and I go on walks, probably anywhere from 1 to 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's okay. And I was what I did hear though is that sitting on the toilet
mm-hmm.
causes this because of the shape of toilet seats.
Mm-hmm.
And toilet seats are literally shaped to spread your butt cheeks apart.
Mm-hmm.
And the downward gravity force of that hole in the toilet seat literally pulls on your anus
mm-hmm.
while you're pooping, and it's supposed to make pooping easier, which for sure it does. But that is also for a while, that's the part of you that is lowest to the ground,
mm-hmm.
and when your blood's circulating,
mm-hmm.
your butthole just fills up with blood, and prolonged sitting on the toilet is the number one cause of hemorrhoids now.
And stop scrolling.
Exactly.
Get down to business.
He's I told him, I was I think I just sat on the phone. I'm used to taking 20, 30-minute dunks at night and stuff before bed.
Uh-huh.
And he's oh yeah, that will do it. If you do that every day
mm-hmm.
for a year, you're going to have hemorrhoids. Doesn't matter your age. And I was no way. And he's oh yeah. He's and that's the number one cause we see now. He's
mm-hmm.
the number one cause used to be, 5-10 years ago,
mm-hmm.
was bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
The bodybuilding exercises would strain.
The strain is squatting
so much
mm-hmm.
that dudes were getting hemorrhoids.
Uh-huh.
Because the blood just couldn't get out before those muscles would pinch the vein off.
Oh yeah.
Right? And he's now it's not even remotely close. It's mostly just dudes sitting on the toilet surfing their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's and girls.
Because
mm-hmm. girls just sit on the toilet surfing their phone too.
Mm-hmm.
I was wow, that's crazy.
And I don't know if did grandma ever have the cushy toilet seat?
No, she didn't, but I know it is.
Have you ever seen
tried them.
the
grandma, cushy leather toilet seats?
The cushy toilet seat?
Yeah.
That's for hemorrhoids.
No.
That's a part of it.
Really?
Yeah, just about less whether it works or not.
Sure.
I don't know, but because also as you get older, your muscles aren't as strong, all this stuff. So you're more likely to get them. So that toilet seat, so you have to get the grandma toilet seat to relax on, or the squatty potty, and then get it done.
Yeah. I also think I've seen there's actual true scientific articles about bidets. So I think I'm going to get a bidet.
Well, what's that? Does that just make you? How's that fix it?
The cool, cold water.
Oh yeah.
Used to clean your anus. Means that you have way less friction from wiping.
And
so it just you just don't have to wipe.
Oh yeah.
And so, or wipe as much. And that just essentially, a lot of it too is like the wiping with toilet paper is actually super strenuous on that tissue. Like imagine how your lips feel if you just wiped and the only thing you wiped your mouth with was like paper towels all day, every day. It's just not.
So are you getting the cheap stuff? Are you getting the Charmin Ultra Strong?
Yeah.
You need the soft stuff.
And the thing is like you can lick your lips before you wipe your mouth, get them wet. You can't lick your ass before you wipe it, right?
Well, there is a method called the Louisiana wet wipe.
Yeah.
So where you blow your nose, then you wipe with it.
I bet those guys have less hemorrhoids. I do the turn 1 into 2 with the dude wipes because dude wipes on the package says only one wipe per flush. It says don't use like more than one wipe.
Oh yeah,
because you could clog your toilet. So I take a dude wipe and I layer toilet paper on both sides of it.
Oh wow!
And just give it a nice little press.
And
then I pull the toilet paper off and fold them into their own wipes. And then I have 3 kind of moistened wipes.
I see.
It definitely makes it a better experience. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyways, what's the AI generated artwork thumbnail of this episode going to be?
Oh, it's going to be
just like a thumb
it's
coming off my butt cheek.
Yeah, just a thumb.
We can't do that to the people.
No. We'll see what it comes up with for us.
Anyways, that's so funny. Well, you know what, Pat? I don't have much else. We covered kind of our good old soapbox rants. And then we also got into like some comedic healthcare stuff, but you got anything else?
Sounds like I gotta change my ways. Gotta stop taking the phone in the potty with me.
I'm stopping doing it, man.
Because I don't want that.
Yeah.
Because
last night was one of the first nights in a long time where I didn't take a nighttime deuce before I went to bed.
Oh yeah.
I just was like, you know what? I don't feel like I need to go. I'm not gonna go sit until I need to go. I'm just going to go to bed.
Huh. Well, I guess that's probably the way it's intended. Go when you need to.
30s are a crazy time. Crazy wake-up call.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. Well, hey, Ken, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got a lot of good laughs out of it. Hope you felt seen, to my kid out there, whether you're a man or a woman with hemorrhoids. I just want you to know I get the battle you're going through. I'm with you in the trenches. And I get it. No one understands. Because you tell someone you got a hemorrhoid and immediately they see what Pat saw on the computer. And you're like, you got to explain it. I said, no, it's not that bad. Anyways, we're in it together. And Pat, you got anything?
Oh, until next time, folks. Thanks for tuning in. If you love this episode, drop us a review. If you have qualms or comments, leave us a voicemail on our website. While you're there, check out our latest news, merch, and deals from our sponsors. Till next time, Ken.